Subscribe the Ielts Guide channel and press the bell icon for the regular updates of Ielts video.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Ielts Guide channel. Today we are going to talk about Ielts reading, particularly for the matching headings kind of a question. There are so many candidates, they found this task very difficult. But friends, if you follow a particular and perfect method, then it might not be so much difficult for you. So in this video, I am going to talk about some tips that you should follow for matching headings kind of a question, and also we are going to see some examples so that you can have some ideas how to attend this kind of a question. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay friends, now let's talk about the tips that you should follow for matching heading kind of a question. The first thing is that you should look for main idea in the paragraph. Okay, the main idea is very important, and if you get main idea from the paragraph, then only you can match the headings properly and correctly. Okay, so let's focus how to proceed in the matching heading kind of a question. So first thing you should follow is that when you see the matching heading kind of a question, then you should in the passage you should read first paragraph including the main title of the passage very carefully. Yes, first paragraph, read whole paragraph very carefully so that you can get idea that on which topic whole passage is all about. Okay, then you should read all the headings in the questionnaire very carefully and try to match the heading with first paragraph. Okay, then even you can read first paragraph again if you want. Okay, because the main idea, the main topic on which the passage is all about, that you should know very well. Okay, so you have to read first paragraph very carefully. Okay, now after completing the first paragraph, when you move to the next paragraph to match the headings, you should read first 1-2 line very carefully, because the main idea is, so many times the main idea of the paragraph is in the first 1 to 2 sentences. So read that sentences very carefully. Okay, now sometimes you don't found the main idea, sometimes it is difficult to match the main idea by reading first 1-2 line only. So what you should do is try to find out the main idea in the paragraph so that you can match the headings. Now you need to understand what is the main idea in the paragraph and what is the extra information. Okay, so you should be able to distinguish between the main idea and the extra information that is given in the paragraph. Okay, so that can be improved only by the practice. So practice is the must in case of a IELTS reading or in the all the modules of the IELTS. Okay, now sometimes what happens that two matchings are similar, so it is difficult for you to match the heading with the any paragraph. So what you should do is skip that paragraph, move ahead, complete the next paragraph. Okay, so that what happened that maybe at the end you can able to eliminate one of the headings so that you can easily match the heading with the paragraph that you have skipped. Okay, so follow this procedure, this can be helpful for you, and find the main idea. Okay, the matching headings work only if you know the main idea behind the paragraph. Okay, so let's see some examples that might be helpful for you. So let's proceed.
So as I told you friends, let's read the whole paragraph, first paragraph carefully, including the title of the passage. So let's read it together. Why risks can go wrong? People make terrible decisions about the future. The evidence is all around, from their investments in the stock markets to the way they run their businesses. In fact, people are constantly bad at dealing with the uncertainty and underestimating some kind of risk and overestimating others. Surely there must be a better way than using intuition. Okay, so this is the first paragraph and they are talking about the risks. Okay, why risks can go wrong and people makes terrible decisions. They are talking about the evidence, stock markets and uncertainty, underestimating, overestimating, and at last there is a question like, surely there must be a better way than using intuition. Okay, so let's read all the headings from the questionnaire carefully. Not identifying the correct priorities. Okay, a solution for the long term, the difficulty of changing your mind, solution for the long term, difficulty of changing your mind while looking back is unhelpful. Okay, strengthening inner resources, a successful approach to the study of decision making, a danger of trusting a global market, reluctance to go beyond the familiar, the power of the first number, the need for more effective risk assessment, underestimating the difficulties ahead. Okay, so these are the headings, and I try to keep the words of the some headings keep in mind so that I can identify it carefully as we proceed ahead. Okay, okay, now let's again look in the paragraph 1 carefully. Okay, people make terrible decisions about the future. The evidence is all around, from their investment in the stock market into the way they run their business. In fact, people are constantly bad at dealing with the uncertainty, underestimating some kind of a risk and overestimating others. Surely there must be a better way than using intuition. Okay friends, so if you see carefully, that last 2-3 sentence give us idea regarding the main idea. Okay, in fact, people are constantly bad at dealing with the uncertainty, underestimating some kind of risk and overestimating others. Surely there must be a better way than using intuition. Okay, so if we look at the headings carefully, then we can say that not identifying the correct priorities, there is nothing like that. A solution for the long term, no. The difficulty of changing your mind, they are talking about uncertainty, underestimating, okay, overestimating. Okay, so a solution for the long term, nothing like that. The difficulty of changing your mind while looking back is unhelpful, no. Strengthening inner resources, successful approach to the study of decision making, no. A danger of trusting a global market, there is a share market, but there is nothing like a danger of trusting on it. Reluctance to go beyond the familiar, the power of the first number, no. The need for more effective risk assessment, underestimating the difficulties ahead. Okay, maybe underestimating the difficulties ahead, but there is nothing much like that. The need for the more effective risk assessment. Okay, need for the more effective risk assessment, because yeah, maybe the 10th is the answer, because they are talking about, in fact, people are constantly bad at dealing with the uncertainty, underestimating some kind of risk, so and overestimating others. So maybe the 10th best 10th heading is the answer, the need for more effective risk assessment. Yes friend, this is the correct answer for the paragraph number 1. So let's move to the paragraph number B. Let's read whole paragraph together. Okay, you can pause the video and read all the passage because it will be too long. Okay, so if you read all the passage and then match the headings carefully friends, then you can find out that not identifying the correct priorities mean not, there is nothing regarding that. A solution for the long term, there is nothing. The difficulty of changing your mind, no. While looking back is unhelpful, no. Strengthening inner resources, no. A successful approach to the study of decision making, maybe, I think. The danger of trusting a global market, reluctance to go beyond the familiar, the power of the first number, underestimating the difficulties. Okay, if you read the paragraph carefully friends, then you can understand that the main idea is over here. Okay, Kahneman and his colleague first started work. The idea of applying psychological insights to the economics and business decisions was seen as a rather bizarre, but in the past decade the fields of behavioral finance and behavioral economics have blossomed, and in 2002 Kahneman shared a Nobel Prize in economics for his work. Okay, so there the passage said that there is a psychological insights, economic and business decision. Okay, and that decision economics have blossomed in 2002. Okay, so if you read the headings carefully, there is a sixth heading, a successful approach to the study of decision making. Okay, so it matches with this idea, so the answer is successful approach to the study of decision making. Okay, because they said there is a word, a blossom, there is a clear cut a line which give us an idea regarding this heading match. Okay, let's move to the paragraph number C. This is also so big paragraph. Pause the video and read whole the passage paragraph so that you can have some idea regarding this. And if you read it carefully, then friends, you can find out that in this paragraph the first two line gives the main idea. One common cause of problem in decision making is over optimistic, right? Over optimistic. Ask most people about the future and they will see too much blue sky ahead. Okay, they will see too much blue sky ahead. Decision making is over optimistic. Yes, if you remember, there is something like underestimating in the headings, right? Okay, and if you read the passage, friend, there is also at the end of the passage, the first people tend to exaggerate their own skill and pros in polls. Far fewer than half the respondents admit to have below average skills in say driving. Second, they overestimate the amount of control they have over the future, right? So this all gives us idea that the answer of the question is there is a heading underestimating the difficulties ahead. Okay, it is clear that from the first sentence that ask most people about the future and they will see too much blue sky ahead, right? Underestimating the difficulties ahead, right? So the answer of this question is underestimating the difficulties ahead. Okay, let's move to the paragraph D. Okay, let's read this paragraph together. But if you see the first two lines carefully, friends, then you can have some ideas that another source of wrong decision is related to the decisive effect of the initial meeting, particularly in negotiations over money. This is referred to as the anchor effect. Okay, see, anchor effect means there is something like a main thing, like the first thing. So if you read all the headings carefully, the power of the first number might be the answer, and there is nothing other topic that matches with this paragraph. So if you see another source of wrong decision related to the decisive effect of the initial meeting, particularly negotiation over money, this is referred to as the anchor effect. And even there is some idea much the same goes for salary negotiation or mergers and acquisitions. If nobody has much information to go on, a figure can provide comfort even though it may lead to a terrible mistake. Okay, so the answer of this question is the power of the first number. Okay, if you have keep in mind the words from the headings, it will be helpful for you, friends. Okay, let's move to the E. Let's read this carefully, friends. Okay, if you read it carefully, then you can find out so many things from the first two lines only. In addition, mistakes may arise due to stubbornness. No one likes to abandon a cherished belief, and earlier a decision has been taken, the harder it is to be abandoned. Okay, the harder it is to be abandoned. See, the first two line gives the main idea, friends. Okay, so now if you read the headings carefully, then you can get that there is like a bonded, right? There is, they are talking like if you have to change something, but you cannot. Okay, so let's focus on the headings. Not identifying the correct priorities, a solution for the long term, the difficulty of changing your mind while looking back is unhelpful, strengthening inner resources. Okay, the danger of trusting a global market, reluctance to go beyond the family. There is nothing like a reluctance to go beyond, there is nothing like a global market, there is nothing like a strengthening inner resources, nothing regarding a looking back is unhelpful. Okay, the difficulty of changing your mind, this is perfect heading. Okay, but let's look at the first two also. Not identifying the correct priorities, no, there is nothing like that. A solution for the long term, no, there is nothing like that. So answer of this question is the third one, that is the difficulty of changing your mind. Okay, let's move to the next. There is a F paragraph. Okay, let's read the paragraph carefully, friends. If you read it carefully, even in the first two lines, the people has tend to put a lot of emphasis on things they have seen and experienced themselves, which may not be the best guide to a decision making. Okay, they are talking about a decision making. Okay, and they said that which may not be the best guide to decision making. Okay, then they give the example which all are the extra information. The main idea is in the two line of the paragraph, the first sentence of the paragraph. Okay, so that if you look carefully, then not identifying the correct priority, solution for the long term while looking back is unhelpful, a strengthening inner resources, the danger of trusting a global market, reluctance to go beyond the familiar, this much heading left. Okay, so see, the first sentence, people also tend to put a lot of emphasis on the things they have seen and experienced themselves, which may not be the best guide to a decision making, may not be the best guide to decision making, friend. Okay, so I think the answer is that reluctance to go beyond the familiar, right? Because which may not guide, right? They are saying that which may not guide to uh, decision making. Okay, so the answer of this question is reluctance to go beyond the familiar. Okay, it is the correct answer. Let's move to the uh, paragraph number G. Paragraph number G, if you read it carefully, then here also you can find out the main idea in first two things, that people spend proportionally too much time on a small decisions and not enough on big ones. Okay, it will give you a main idea that people spend proportionally too much time on a small decision. They are spending more time on a small decision, not enough on a big ones. Okay, they need to adjust the balance. Okay, adjust the balance. Okay, if you read the headings carefully, not identifying the correct priorities, solution for the long term, while looking back is unhelpful, strengthening inner resources, the danger of trusting global market. See, there is nothing like a danger of trusting, there is nothing like a strengthening inner resources, while looking back is a unhelpful, a solution for the longer term, not identifying the correct priorities. Okay, they are talking about too much time on a small decision and not enough on big one, right? So the answer of this question is, I think, not identifying the correct priorities, because they need to balance, adjust the balance, right? See here, people spend proportionally too much time on a small decision, not enough on a big ones. They need to adjust the balance. So the answer of the question is not identifying the correct priorities, because they are focusing on something else rather than focusing on the main thing, and they need to balance it. So the identifying the correct priority is the perfect answer, perfect heading which goes with this. Let's move to the next, that is H. Finally, crying over spilled milk is not just a waste of time, it also often colors people's perceptions to the future. Okay, now if you focus on this carefully, crying over spilled milk is not just a waste of time, yes friends. So it is also often colors people's perception of the future, right? See, spilled milk is not just a waste of, they are talking about not helpful. If you yeah, there is something like that in the headings, and if you read the headings carefully, a solution for the long term, while looking back is unhelpful, strengthening inner resources, the danger of trusting a global market. So while looking back is unhelpful, because if you carefully see the words, crying over a spilled milk is not just a waste of time, it is also often colors people's perceptions of the future. So it will give you idea that they are talking about you don't need to take a look what happened already, right? So this is a little bit tricky, but if you focus carefully, it can be blink the idea in your mind, and the answer of the question is why looking back is
So that's it for
unhelpful.
today, friends. And I can say that only practice is the main thing that can be helpful for you in the IELTS examination. So that's it for today, friends. And if you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe to the IELTS Guide channel. I will see you in the next video soon. Till then, you take care, friends, and bye bye.